Inflection, with the ticker symbol INFQ, reported their earnings not too long ago, their quarterly earnings for the fiscal year of 2026 Q1 earnings, and they raised full guidance, expanded defense and NASA partnerships, and now it has over $600 million in total assets on the balance sheet. Yet the stock is still struggling after earnings. So in this video, we need to break down whether Inflection is quietly becoming one of the strongest long-term quantum computing companies in the market, or if investors are still too concerned about one massive issue holding the company back. And as I mentioned, today we're going to be talking about Inflection, ticker symbol INFQ. And if you do enjoy the video, please hit the like and subscribe button and comment below what it is you want to see in future upcoming videos. But after they released the 26 earnings and they reported record revenue growth alongside major developments across quantum computing, AI defense, and sensing technology, this is one of the companies where the story is becoming much bigger than just quantum hype. They are now alongside NASA, NVIDIA, the US Navy, DARPA, and the Department of Energy programs. And management, it's clearly positioning this company as a real commercial quantum infrastructure player instead of just a speculative research project. And looking at the data points for the company, doing the financial analysis on the things that we typically look at whenever we look at the report for a 10Q or a 10K, Q1 revenue came in at $9.46 million, which represented approximately a 14% growth year over year growth when you compare it to the fiscal year of Q1 for 2025. And then gross profit, it came in at $1.99 million, and that means that gross margin, it was approximately, after doing the math, about 21%. And the company, it still posted a loss from operations at about $33.5 million, which is a lot more substantial when you compare it to the fiscal year of 2025 losses at only $6.95 million. However, even though that they did have substantial losses, what I do want to say is that that's not where things get interesting. If you enjoy my content, please hit the like and subscribe button. And if you ever need help making better decisions with investing, simply take a look at the first link below to get access to my community and support yourself with like-minded investors and get access to the world's leading AI models, Claude, Gemini, OpenAI, and Grok. Get all of this software for $7 in my community, and my community is free. If we scroll back up here, you're going to see here total assets, $612.6 million, while they only have about $27 million in liabilities, and cash and cash equivalent stands at $84.6 million. So that is an extremely strong balance sheet, especially when you compare it to some of the other names in the quantum space among the other speculative quantum stocks in the market. And a few bullish takeaways that you can see when you read this report. A few things is management. It raised 2026 revenue guidance to at least $40 million, supported by customer activity across the company's quantum portfolio. A few other things was that revenue was described as 100% organic, and the company is expanding into defense, aerospace, energy, and AI applications. So INFQ is continuing to strengthen relationships with government agencies and enterprise customers, and they specifically mentioned hybrid quantum AI applications gaining traction. They also referenced NVIDIA collaborations for quantum processor calibration and error correction. This is important because many investors are trying to determine which quantum companies will actually survive long enough to commercialize real products, and INFQ is trying to prove it already has real-world deployments and real commercial demand. And the major concerns when it comes to INFQ is, even with revenue growth, the company is still losing tens of millions of dollars per quarter operationally. And I want to say still because It's actually relatively, I would say, relatively new when you compare it from just a 1 year period. Because again, it was less than 10 million. It was less than 10 million at just under $7 million in losses from operations to now it's at over $33.5 million from losses from operations. So that means that investors, they're going to be asking how long until they actually become profitable, how scalable is the business, and can revenue accelerate fast enough to justify the valuations that they have? Because in the market, investors are becoming less patient with companies buying large amounts of cash, even in high growth sectors like AI and quantum computing. I'm not one of those people that isn't patient, but that's just the overall sentiment when it comes to stocks like INFQ. And another important thing that you do have to understand is the fact that the sector that they are in, quantum stocks have become extremely momentum driven. We've seen names like Riggedy, QBT, IonQ, and definitely can't forget about QBTS D Wave. They all experience massive spikes followed by violent pullbacks. So INFQ now needs to prove it can transition from interesting quantum story to a real scalable commercial company. And overall, in my humble opinion, INFQ is starting to look like one of the more serious players in the quantum space based on government relationships, strong liquidity, commercial expansion, and real revenue growth. So, however, investors, they still want one thing answered. Can this company eventually turn all this technology into profitable, large scale commercialization? Because if they can, many people believe the entire quantum sector could still be in a very early, and I mean, it could still be in the very early stages for something that could be much bigger in the long term. And I want to know, do you guys think INFQ is one of the stronger long-term quantum plays in the market right now? Or is profitability still too far away to happen anytime soon? Let me know in the comments below what you think. Please hit the like and subscribe button if you did enjoy the video. And with that being said, guys, David with InvestQ. Stay safe, keep making good decisions with your long-term portfolios, and I'll see you on the next video.